Have you ever wondered what the inside of a spaceship factory looks like? Well, today we will take a brief look into such an incredible place. The factory that built Elon Musk's next-generation spacecraft is a stunning marvel of ultramodern industrial engineering. SpaceX's day job? Orbiting lucrative commercial payloads for an assortment of private firms and state agencies. Runs on rockets built at the company's primary Hawthorne headquarters on the outskirts of Los Angeles. That side of the business is ticking well by all accounts. But Elon Musk has big fish to fry. We are trying to build a huge fleet to make Mars habitable. Achieving this historic achievement would require a major leap forward in spacecraft development. But to actually colonize Mars, one Starship would not be enough. I think we need, probably, on the order of 1,000 ships, and each of those ships would have more payload than the Saturn V, and be reusable, Elon Musk says. The SpaceX CEO has finally set an ambitious long-term goal of running 3 Starship flights a day, each carrying 100 tons of payloads and passengers to and from the Red Planet. For now, though, Musk's short-term aim is to build 1 or 2 Starships per week, and add to the construction cost at just $5 million per ship. To pull this off, Elon Musk needs a production line, something he knows a thing or two about, his famous injury experience growing Tesla's manufacturing base a few years ago. But if you really want to make a reasonable amount of something, you have to build a machine that makes a machine. Which is going to be a lot more complicated than a machine, mathematically. With Starship, the plan was always to iterate several prototypes in rapid succession, to refine the design and achieve this as quickly as possible. As Musk puts it, if you have a high production rate, you have many iterations. You can progress from one to the next. Building a Starship at Hawthorne would make it impossible or certainly too slow. As a cross-country road trip from Cali to the Texas coast would add unacceptable delays to each launch. Referring to this fact, not that the Starship is too big to make it under highway bridges. So the Starship manufacturing facility is located just a short hop along Highway 4, in the South Texas enclave of Boca Chica. Aerial photos were taken a few years ago of the construction site show how fast the factory has grown. And that momentum is helped by the fact that the buildings seen here are not technically buildings at all. Some of Elon Musk's biggest headaches growing Tesla disappeared when he realized how cheap and fast it could be to ramp up capacity by putting giant tents for screens in production. Tents have the advantage of being straightforward and inexpensive, plus they don't require a lot of tedious energy-saving engagement with local planning authorities. If you want to build a large structure fast, tents are pretty much the way to go. Just ask any circus. But what works for cars doesn't necessarily work for space rockets. In the latest twist in the saga of SpaceX's custom-built Starship launch pad propellant storage tanks, the company appears to have retroactively decided to build small prototype meant solely for testing. Known as a test tank, the relatively small steel structure was fairly rapidly assembled from parts of an older ground support equipment tank scrapped in July over the last week or so. SpaceX completed the first Starship-derived propellant storage tank in April 2021, and rapidly rolled that tank, GSE-1, and a second, GSE-2, from the build site to the orbital launch pad just a few weeks apart. Less than a month after that, SpaceX also completed GSE tank number 3, though things seemingly devolved into chaos immediately thereafter. Little is known about why SpaceX's custom GSE tank production faltered so soon after it began, why none of the 5 Starship-sized tanks installed at the orbital pad have been fully plumbed, or subjected to any kind of testing, or why structural modifications were seemingly required after the fact. So, as ever, with Mr. Musk's inventions, this insight leaves us with more questions than answers. But I hope you learned something new today. And smash the like button for more artificial news. Also, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Have an awesome day, guys.